Struggles on the set, feuds behind the scenes, and productions that are in trouble. Everything that is Hollywood. On the other hand, these performers were so enamored with one another that they refused to even shoot sequences together. It is possible that some of the names on our list, such as Wesley Snipes, Lindsay Lohan, Charlie Sheen, Alyssa Milano, and Shannon Doherty, will not come as a surprise to you. Nevertheless, what about Juliana Margulies, Emma Watson, and The Rock? Can't we simply get along with each other? In your opinion, who performer would be the most difficult to collaborate with? Leave a comment below and let us know. Number 10. Wesley Snipes and the supporting cast, Blade, Trinity, 2004. When you have a successful franchise to your name, it is possible for them to cause you to lose your mind. Jessica Biel and Ryan Reynolds, who played Night Stalkers Abigail Whistler and Hannibal King, provided Snipes with support for the film Blade, Trinity. Snipes got their backing from these two actors. On the other hand, it would appear that Snipes was not really enthusiastic about these modifications, or for that matter, the script, the director, or the entire story. There are other horror stories that have been told about the set, but the most noteworthy is the fact that Snipes frequently had his stand and perform all of the tasks except for the close-ups, forcing the supporting cast to make up the difference. Additionally, it is said that he referred to Reynolds by the name That Cracker. Number 9. Lindsay Lohan and Charlie Sheen, Scary Movie 5, 2013. We can't really blame Lindsay Lohan for not wanting to film a kiss with her co-star, Charlie Sheen, because the aforementioned man has a well-documented sexual history and has admitted to using drugs. On the other hand, it is not so much that her personal history is devoid of any reason to be concerned. It would appear that the motivating anxiety that caused Lohan to be anxious about puckering up was cold sores. Even a legal letter coming from both Lohan and Sheen claiming that they were free of cold sores was not sufficient to put her mind at ease. In conclusion, the scene was altered in some way. The kiss wasn't exactly missed, especially when one considers the wild antics that were captured on their in-film sex tape. Number 8. Alyssa Milano and Shannon Doherty. Their working relationship had become strained by the time the third season came to a close, despite the fact that they had played siblings on television for a number of years. It was at that point that Doherty's character, Prue Halliwell, was eliminated from the show, and Rose McGowan, who played a new half-sister, took her place. From the time she spent on Beverly Hills 90210, Doherty had a reputation for being difficult to collaborate with, and it appears that this reputation followed her to this eerie series. Unless the cameras were rolling, it was reported that the two individuals did not talk very often. There was even an attempt to bring in a mediator, but it was to no use. The situation reached a point where one of them had to leave. Number 7. Emma Watson and Channing Tatum. This Is the End, 2013. In this movie, Emma Watson and Channing Tatum both have cameo appearances that are not particularly significant. Nonetheless, it appears that we could have had more of Watson. After making a conspicuous leave from the house she was sharing with the film's stars during the filming of the film, Watson reportedly made another departure that was all too real, this time from the set, when she caught a peek of the film's climactic sequence, which featured Tatum dancing while wearing nothing but a thong and being held on a leash. In the setting of the sequence, which explored cannibalism and sexual enslavement, both of these topics proved to be too much for Watson to film in the manner that he had originally intended. Number 6. Juliana Margulies and Archie Panjabi, The Good Wife, 2009 to 2016. This critically acclaimed series on CBS was gifted with a significant amount of talent. It is unfortunate that it appears that their personalities outside of the camera were just as strong, and it appears that the lead actress of the series, Juliana Margulies, did not get along well with Archie Panjabi. It wasn't until the 6th season that Kalinda Sharma, the latter's in-house investigator, was finally written out of the show. However, even before that, despite Panjabi's prominent role, the two hadn't been in a scene together since the middle of the 4th season. Even if the circumstances are yet unknown, it appears that the two performers just were unable to collaborate with one another. Split-screen technology was used to film their final scene together, which was actually shot separately. Oh my goodness. Rivera and Lea Michele, Glee, 2009 to 2015. The plots of this long-running hit musical series were not without their share of dramatic moments, but in most cases, they were resolved in a positive manner. It would appear that no amount of singing could bring about a peaceful resolution between these two young stars, which is unfortunate because of the drama that is taking place behind the scenes. It is possible that Naya Rivera and Lea Michele played characters that were friends, and it is also possible that the actors began their relationship in the same way. However, their relationship eventually deteriorated to the point where they stopped communicating with one another. The character of Santana Lopez, played by Rivera, was eventually written out of episodes despite the fact that she had been promoted from the supporting cast to the series' regular position. Number 4. Dwayne Johnson and Vin Diesel, The Fate of the Furious, 2017. Regarding the 8th installment of the Fast and the Furious franchise, did you find anything peculiar? The lack of interaction between Vin Diesel's Dominic Toretto and Dwayne Johnson's Luke Hobbs, for example, could be considered an example. It's a bit of a strange creative choice, especially when you consider that these two actors were the highest-billed stars in the movie and easily the most powerful actors in the franchise. On the other hand, it would appear that Johnson and Diesel do not get along well with one another. In fact, they have publicly admitted that they cannot stand each other. The Rock claims that they were able to avoid filming even a single moment together, but regrettably, the tension that existed between them on set is reflected in the final product. Number 3. Denzel Washington and Julia Roberts, The Pelican Brief, 1993. It's clear that Denzel Washington is a man of principles. When he expresses his refusal to shoot a specific scenario, he is not only expressing his opinion. He has managed to kiss a white woman on screen relatively infrequently, if at all, despite the fact that he is an A-list actor with a large number of parts to his name. Does it make sense? His black female following, whom he believes are much too rarely represented as the topic of sexual desire, appears to be extremely dedicated to him, as evidenced by his apparent extreme devotion. In an effort to do his own small thing to counteract this injustice of representation, he flatly refused to kiss his co-star Julia Roberts when the script for The Pelican Brief called for him to do so. As a result, the scene was removed. Number 2. Lena Headey and Jerome Flynn, Game of Thrones 2011. Because of the staggering number of noteworthy individuals that occupy the universe of George R.R. Martin and the fact that there are multiple narrative lines that are being played out concurrently, it is highly likely that you did not even realize that these two characters never exchanged scenes. It is possible that this was merely a coincidence, yet, in truth, this is a choice that was made during the production process. It would appear that Lena Headey and Jerome Flynn, the actors who play Queen Cersei and Bronn, the ambitious Sellsword, involved in a romantic relationship that took place behind the scenes many years ago. According to those with knowledge of the situation, it is evident that the two did not end their relationship on amicable terms, as they do not appear to be on speaking terms and will not even be seen in the same room together. Number 1. Julia Roberts and Nick Nolte, I Love Trouble, 1994. It is possible that Julia Roberts was the one who was rejected during the production of The Pelican Brief, but this time it was her turn to voice her disinterest in her co-star. In the course of filming this poorly received romantic comedy, Roberts and Nolte, who play the romantic protagonists, appear to be unable to tolerate each other. A well-known statement made by Roberts was that Nolte was disgusting and the worst actor she had ever collaborated with. Nolte, on the other hand, expressed his opinion that Roberts was not a nice person. Due to the fact that they did not get along with one another, stand-ins were utilized as much as possible, and in addition, different scenes were filmed independently. It should come as no surprise that the actors' lack of chemistry was reflected on the big screen. Share your views with us in the comments section below and subscribe to our channel for more.